Hey everybody, welcome back to I Know a Guy. I'm Anthony, and this is the podcast where connections thrive. Each episode, we spotlight inspiring entrepreneurs, professionals, and individuals doing amazing things. Together, we'll grow your circle, spark collaborations, and discover new opportunities. Today, we're meeting Erik Cascio, CEO of Golden Tree Wealth Partners and seasoned CFO and tax strategist who helps small and mid-sized businesses optimize their finances, minimize tax burdens, and plan for long-term growth. With a sharp focus on GAAP accounting and strategic tax planning, Erik has saved his clients millions while ensuring they stay compliant and profitable. How are you doing today, Erik?
Good, Anthony. Thanks for having me on.
No, I was excited to have you on. We were connected through a mutual friend. I really enjoyed our conversation. You're doing some cool things, and there's a lot of people out there that would benefit from getting to know you. So figured, what better way to do that than this. So starting off, where are you calling in from? Where are you located?
I am located in Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, awesome. You've been there for a while, or are you newer to the area?
Most of my life, so I've been a Chicago kid most of my life. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So if you have friends coming in the town that have never been, where are you going? What are you doing? And what's for dinner?
There's so much to do in Chicago. Best time to come is probably going to be late spring, all summer. It's an exciting city. There's always something to do. Restaurants, food, they're amazing here. Chicago is known for deep dish pizza, but there's tons of great pizza out here other than deep dish. Great beef sandwiches, hot dogs. You name it, we have it. But anywhere in Chicago you can definitely go. But the best time is, going to check out the Chicago Riverwalk, Navy Pier. Take a look at the what we still call Sears Tower, even though it's Willis Tower now. So there's tons of things to do, and obviously food. There's some great places. I got my favorites. If you want to just go, like I said, if you want to grab a beef or grab some good pizza, you can do that. Phil's Pizza down on the south side is really good. If you want something upscale, maybe try like Gibson's Steakhouse, Gibson's Italia. So RPMs are good, but there's a couple other places like in the St. Regis hotels that are really nice if you want super upscale, but that's what I would probably recommend.
Okay, so your answer is everything. That's a good one.
It's hard to choose.
It really is. When you're looking at Chicago pizza, obviously everybody knows deep dish. Is that your go-to kind, or do you have like a favorite as far as Chicago? Because I know it's more than just deep dish.
Yeah, there's a lot of tavern style Chicago pizzas out here. So we're not the triangle slice of pizza. We're the square slice of pizza. So those are actually our go-to. Typically, if you ask any Chicagoan, deep dish is more so if like you want to do once in a while. It's pretty thick. It's very very filling. It takes over an hour to cook. So that's a once in a while thing. But tavern style pizza is typically a go-to.
Yeah, no, I get that. I grew up downstate, so I knew, but most people just think only deep dish. And it's like, well, no. But anyway, so what can you tell us about what you do?
Yeah, great question. I love working with business owners. I've been a business owner for probably over 17 years. And one of the things I've always struggled with being a business owner is finding the right type of guidance and the right type of relationships in regards to taxes, compliance. Basically, it's always been a transactional relationship where typically you submit all your tax documents to your CPA or accountant, and then they spit out a return, really not going over everything with you. And you're kind of left alone in the dark wondering, okay, I don't even know how much I paid in taxes, or I owe this, or I might have gotten a refund, and then I'll see you next year is a typical norm. But we do things quite different here. And so that's been my experience lately. I'm sure other business owners have had that similar type of experience where it's just a transactional relationship, spit out something as far as return, not really understanding how taxes are calculated or how compliance is part of that regimen. And, that's it. So we definitely expand the way we treat our clients and the way we educate our clients here at my firm.
Okay, I gotcha. When you're looking at, you mentioned like kind of being in it for 17 years and kind of moving through business. What about where you're at now? How did that come about? Is that something the direction you were always planning on going, or was it just kind of a happy accident?
No, great question. I have a background in finance. My original background is a financial advisor. I've worked with many firms. I started off at J.P. Morgan, worked my way with different insurance carriers, companies. I've been in management. I've recruited and trained many financial advisors that are out there today. But one of the biggest breakdowns is obviously referring clients over to a tax professional, and again, typically that's that transactional relationship. Also, another thing I notice is there may be conflicting advice going on between maybe a financial advisor versus your tax guy versus your attorney, and so many times those professionals, those advisors, have maybe one piece of the puzzle, not the entire puzzle, and they may be recommending the right solution but may not understand the entire picture. Also, having multiple people to guide you on running your business can be a little bit of a hassle, and so why not have one team that knows everything between your finances, your tax solutions, and have a right referral for the attorneys that are experienced dealing with your certain circumstances that you're experiencing in business. So I thought maybe put everything together and have one team to go to for clients where it's very easy. That relationship has already been built. We see the entire picture, not just from a tax perspective, but also from a finance perspective, and be able to not only advise on the tax solutions, but also integrate some financial strategies behind it. So that's where I came up with just combining the solutions to one team, making it extremely easy for all clients.
Absolutely. What is it that you love most about what you're doing now?
My day is typically different every single day. Every single client, and because we're industry agnostic, we can cover many different industries. And obviously, we're a nationwide company, so we have different states, different regions that we work with. Everything is very different in most cases. So whether I'm talking to a contractor or I'm talking to a consultant or construction, everything seems to be pretty different in how they operate their business. And so to me, having the challenge of always changing and always being able to go and pivot into different directions and different industry really keeps me on the spot right there. So learning and getting a gradual pace as to what business owners across different industries are experiencing right now. And so that's been a big part of my enjoyment working with business owners. Overall, since I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, there's really no guidebook on telling you how to be a successful entrepreneur. And so my goal, my mission essentially is to help mitigate that confusion and being able to scale any business, being able to put businesses in the right financial position to save on taxes, be optimal, and to utilize a lot of the strategies that we put in place for them.
Absolutely. When you're looking at like your average client, you said it's business agnostic. There's a lot of variation between them. What are the commonalities? What are the pain points that they're going through? That if somebody's going through X, Y, or Z, you're the person they should be talking to.
Yeah, we see startups, small businesses that obviously are one or two man shop. They're doing everything from CEO, CFO, delivery person, cashier. I mean, they're doing everything. And so adding taxes and compliance is another big hurdle. And so one of the things that we often tend to do with our startups and small business clients is we take a lot of that relief away, or that pressure of knowing taxes and compliance. We'd rather have our clients do what they do best, grow their business, sell the things that they're experts at, and advise their clients to do everything. So, we can take a lot of that burden off. For established businesses, mid-sized businesses, a lot of times they're outgrowing their accountant or CPA to the point where just, hey, we need reports done right away. We need to know our numbers quarterly, how we're doing quarterly, how we're doing monthly. And a lot of times they outgrow their CPA. The great thing about with us, we have a large enough team and a huge bandwidth to take care of those obligations in a timely manner. So that's why I love working with all different aspects of things. But the biggest thing is, we want to have our clients do what they do best and not so much worry about what's going to happen with their taxes, what's going to happen if they're not compliant. Also give them a financial roadmap. So essentially what I like to say is a financial GPS as to how they're performing within their business as well.
Okay. What about power partners? What are other professionals or industries that you might synergize well with? I know you guys do a lot, but just in general, maybe people that you can collaborate with or refer back and forth with.
Yeah, great question. So we work with many professionals. For instance, we do work with tax attorneys, estate attorneys. Once we get their foundation going for tax compliance, saving them on tax dollars, we want to be able to protect their business as well. So we oftentimes work with estate attorneys that really wrap everything up, make sure their business entity is the appropriate business entities, make sure that their assets, everything that they own, are protected from any type of litigation or even a partner or business partner disputes. So one of the things we often talk about is having a airtight operating agreement between partners and who makes the decisions at the end of the day. How do you resolve disputes? God forbid something happens, to one of the partners, what is the transition, and then how do you exit it appropriately on your business? So we oftentimes work with many attorneys in different expertise areas. We also work with other advisors where they might do insurance planning or other, retirement plans as well. So there's many different partnerships we can do, and we have a Rolodex of partners, whether it's even finding a mortgage, finding a local realtor that you can trust. So we try to be the end all be all. And if we're not, we have essentially the partnerships that we've worked with over the past years that we trust and that we know deliver the best quality service for our clients.
Okay. And then seeing as you've been, an entrepreneur for, for a while now, what advice would you give to a new or aspiring entrepreneur?
Yeah, the biggest advice I would say is to try to stay organized as much as possible and to be able to record or actually track and record processes in order for you to scale your business. At the end of the day, you can be your best salesman of your business. You can be out there killing it. But if you can't replicate yourself and really put down what standard operating procedure that you're using or what the best practices that you're using to try to replace yourself in business, that's really the key point, is having set procedures, having a standard operating process so that you can scale your business. Because none of us want to work in our business forever. We'd like to either have some type of exit or build a working machine that provides us ongoing cash flow without us necessarily being the end all be all person.
Absolutely. No, fantastic advice. How can small business owners reduce their tax liability without raising red flags?
Yeah, great question. So the biggest opportunity that I see when I work with startups, small businesses, is that they are extremely unorganized, or they may not know what are the proper expenses that they can deduct off of their adjusted gross income. So, partner with a great accountant that wants to build a relationship with you that can really customize a good tax strategy around your business rather than just a generic list of expenses. And so that really helps stay organized with your business, stay organized with, your proper filings and being in compliance. So I would say definitely reach out to a qualified accountant that's willing to develop a long-lasting relationship with you rather than just a transactional relationship. This will prevent a lot of potential penalties or unnecessary interest if you're not compliant. These things can be crucial when you're running your business. So these are things that you should look for with any type of partnership or advisor to help you navigate around your business.
How can proactive tax planning lead to long term business profitability?
Yeah, great question. So, what we want to do is, well, no one wants to overpay on their taxes, and especially if you're doing very well for yourself and your business. So, you want to not only stay compliant with having a good tax strategy, but both having your financials ready. So, do you have your profit and loss statement? Do you go over that on a monthly, on a quarterly basis? Do you have a proper balance sheet so that you know where things are coming from, where your liabilities are tracked? Not only does it help you track your compliance and your tax filings, but it also helps you create, again, that financial compass so that you're not just winging it. If you can put together and be organized with your financials and you know exactly how much it costs to offer your product or service, you're ahead of the curve by far from most business owners. And if you're flying blind, you need to, make sure you have some type of foundation that you can track. Also, it helps that if you want to set yourself your personal goals, your business goals, or if you're hiring employees, it's a good thing that everyone's on the same page, on the same mission, so that at the end of the day, your business is extremely profitable. So I guess it covers two things. One is obviously your tax compliance and you're not overpaying on taxes. But two, it creates that financial guidance as to where your business is going, where your business is trending, how can you make those adjustments, whether they're, you're doing great things, you continue to do those great things and not pivot away from them, or you need to make those small adjustments and continue to learn to make those adjustments and be more profitable.
Absolutely. How can reconstructing your financial operations unlock hidden savings?
Yeah, so knowing what is coming in and out of your accounts, also knowing where 80% of your business is coming from, where a majority of your business is coming from, is a really good strength and a really good focus to focus your energy on your strengths and how you're getting revenues and sales in. Next thing is you want to keep track of your expenses. Where is the money coming out from? So are you overspending on certain things? Are you hiring too early, hiring too late? Are you overspending on overhead cost of goods sold? Can we renegotiate terms with vendors? Or whether I should bring on a contractor versus a W-2 employee. These are top questions that most business owners really think of as they're looking inside their business, and having the knowledge behind your financials really helps solve a lot of these questions that you're going to ask yourself.
Okay, well, why you? What sets you guys apart from everybody else doing something similar?
So we have a very thorough process when we work with brand new clients. One, I offer a free consultation to go over the past 3-year filings. And one of the things that we focus on, and this is a free consultation, we go up to, in some cases, an hour to an hour and a half. But I will actually go line by line with the previous tax returns, making sure that the client actually understands how those forms are calculated, and how the taxes are calculated, what the forms actually mean, and how compliance relates to this. And a lot of times it shocks many of my new clients to say, hey, I didn't realize I was paying thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes. I've just been giving my tax forms away, and I get a spit out return, but I didn't really emphasize how much money I've actually paid in taxes. And when I educate the client on that line particularly, they tend to freak out. And so they're like, okay, well, we really need to do something. So I really dedicate the time to educate our clients, and work with them with white glove service. So what we'll do is we'll establish a long-lasting relationship, ongoing. We're very proactive. So I never want to see my clients once a year. I want to see my clients once a month, once a quarter. I want to make sure that we're proactive. By the time the year ends, we actually should be able to close a lot of loopholes. We also should be able to save a lot of tax dollars and be compliant. For one, be very organized. Having that financial infrastructure really helps our clients. So it's really about building that relationship and partner, hence why I call my firm Golden Tree Wealth Partners. We act as your business partner. We want to be able to see all of our clients grow and be profitable.
Absolutely, yeah. No, that makes sense. You want to meet frequently. The last thing you want to do is have a scramble. The end of the year should be a stamp. Done. Right? So that's awesome. Is there anything that I missed or that I failed to ask that you wanted to add?
So, with our process, obviously, we start talking about taxes, talking about accounting and compliance. But a lot of times, when we work with our clients for the first 90 days, we tend to understand how they operate their business. And obviously, we tend to also know their finances somewhat even better than our clients in some cases, which leads to the conversation of how can we create, or how do we see opportunities in which they can either streamline certain processes renegotiate certain terms, whether that be a vendor agreement, maybe it's overhead costs that they have, where we see maybe some of the financial ratios don't make sense, or again, taking a look and seeing whether it's the right time to bring somebody new on as either a contractor or an employee. These are strategic decisions that need to be made in order to scale your business or to make your business more profitable. So a lot of times we lead in with taxes, but we end up coming forward to represent them in a financial director capacity, or what I like to call CFO as a service. One, it's a very affordable option rather than spending six figures on a CFO with bonuses and possibly equity offering. We don't require none of that. It's a simple invoice coming to you. There's a lot of less. There's no hassle in doing it, and we're a fraction of the cost of you traditionally hiring a CFO for your business.
For those that want to know more, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Where can they find you?
Definitely, you can check out our website, www.goldentreewealthpartners.com. We are 5-star on Yelp, 5-star on Google currently. You can email us at Erik, ERIK, at goldentreewealth.com as well.
Perfect. And I'm going to put all that in the show notes so it's super easy to find. If anybody would like to get a hold of Erik, do it. When you're talking about taxes and saving money, it's best to get the best, right? Nobody, like you said earlier, nobody wants to pay more than they have to. So make sure that it's getting done. It's getting done right. It's going to help your business in the long run. It's going to help your sanity in the short run. So absolutely, if you want to get a hold of Erik, absolutely do that. He's the exact same in a one-to-one as he is here, so don't be shy. Other than that, if anybody would like to get a hold of me, you can visit me at ikag.me. You can find more episodes, subscribe to our newsletter, and connect with our growing community of awesome people like Erik. If you or somebody you know would like to be interviewed, you can also apply on the website. But Erik, thank you so much for coming on. There's all sorts of rabbit holes that we could go down with this stuff, but I really appreciate the high level because I don't understand it. But it's good there's people out there like you that do. So I appreciate you coming on. Let's all go have an awesome day and grow our circles. All right.
Appreciate it, Anthony.